Good morning, everyone, from the sunny back of the van today. So nice, sunny and dry. Let's try and get something accomplished. So today, we are gonna go over right now and go bug Sean at Journey RV. I ordered this last week, this battery monitor for my Renogy setup in the back, because I'm thinking maybe my vehicle problems with my van running poorly might be tied to the issue that this stuff here is connected. So that big red shut off button has a lot to do with that. So it's connected to the front battery with a solenoid, and when the key is on, it will charge this battery. So I don't know if that's any of the problem, but I'm gonna disconnect the two systems today, and I didn't want to run blind. Everyone needs a shunt. You need to know what's going on, how much is going in, how much is going out. That's a nice little display, right? So he says it's pretty simple for him to install. I'm gonna let him do that. So let's drive over to Journey RV and put in this shunt. All right, so we're gonna start this van that backfired all over town, and I'm gonna back up into their bay, and we're gonna put that shunt on the battery, and we're just going to disconnect the car from the back battery. And he says that shouldn't even be a problem. He says, look, Ellie, I've done that in trailers. I've done that in other places. He said my front should charge my back and it shouldn't be a problem, but we're gonna disconnect it. All right, very nice of them to do the job, but I didn't know that I had to leave for 2 hours, so I'm just grabbing some stuff and we're gonna get out of here. So, yeah, I guess we're out of here. Good luck, man. So they're just gonna disconnect it either from the solenoid here or from the back. And they're gonna install a battery monitor for me on that battery. But yeah, let's get going. Just leave them to it. Hey, happy sunny Tuesday. Anyway, there's the van behind me in the shop, getting a shunt. I didn't know I had to leave it for 2 hours, so they kicked me out of my van. They're like, I was sitting on the bumper in the back. They're like, well, so we'll see you in 2 hours, right? I'm like, what? I don't have any makeup on. I had 1 coffee. I have 0 breakfast. They're like, look how nice it is, right? Be nice if the van ran, but it doesn't. So it literally backfired right in front of the road, right on the highway there that I came off of. It literally backfired all the way into this parking lot. So I'm like, hey, put this shunt in so I can see like a meter what's going on in my battery in the back. And I'm just gonna run off that battery in the back. But he doesn't get it. He's like, I don't get it, Ellie. Everyone else does it. They have a solenoid. They run it to the back of their trailer or whatever, right? But no, for some reason, it's not working out for me, and I don't know what's wrong with it in that car. I just don't. But I need to go and find some breakfast. Wow, wish I'd known. I would have made sandwiches. Can't really afford to eat out all day, and I'm too hungry to wait and not eat anything until my van comes back because I'm hungry and I need some energy to walk around. Big bread factory. I can smell fresh bread. I'm hungry. So yeah, I'm gonna have to spend probably $8, and that'll get me something cheap. Well, let's get somewhere to eat and use the washroom and have a coffee and just think about what we're gonna do for a couple hours, I guess. All right, so we're just walking out of this Kia lot here. Really nice guys to let me use the washroom and stuff like that. So let's go find a coffee. Yeah, it's cold, but it's sunny. So let's get going. Nice, eh? We have this big muscle car culture out here, and this thing's a demon, eh? 426 Hemi. Look at it. It's quite the car. It's pretty close to original, right? Pretty close. Looks pretty repainted even in the inside, but I mean, it's pretty fun looking, hey? Take that out for a rip on a Sunday near the ocean. That's a beautiful day. Yeah, so that's quite the car. All right, let's go get some chow. It's busy, but not too busy. Actually, it is not busy. No one's in here. Canadian souvenir. Yeah, lots of great foods, right? It's a year of the horse this year. So you can pick something that's already been made. But I'm gonna go for the buffet here. How about some rice? That looks really fresh and really great. Lots of eggs in it. Shrimp is in it. Land of shrimp in there. I'd like some egg for protein. Don't get a lot of that much these days. We're gonna have a little bit of noodle added with that. Chicken and zucchini. It's not what I thought it was either. But at least it's not deep fried. It's got sauce and vegetables. That actually looks pretty decent. So let's grab some carrots, meat, and zucchini. Alright, so you know what? I can deal with that. It's a piece of a thigh. There's lots of good black bean sauce, whatever that is it's in. That's good. I like the sauce. So let's put a lid on. Let's go find a place to eat it. Yeah, so they have this nice little area where you can sit at the front of the store, and dinner time, everybody will be lined up here and they'll be eating here. People walk by and they watch you eating. It's not bad. So I'm almost done with this chicken, bean, and noodle, and we're gonna go and find a coffee and a bench and just sit down and wait for the van. Well, we're just walking back to the van. It's been a couple hours. I just thought I'd give you a little look at this. And this little pony car has been painted quite a flashy purple. It's licensed, so it's somebody's car. They're kind of a racing club, probably. It's quite a color, right? I don't want to stress the guy out by rubbing on it. He's probably watching me right now from somewhere. But yeah, I just thought I'd give you a little shot of that purple pony car. Let's go see if we have any luck with the van. We're gonna go cross this 6-lane highway and go back to where I left it 2 hours ago. Here's a pretty good shot of that Renogy monitor that I had them put in. So we're just gonna turn the fan on and then we should be able to see the numbers move up and down. Turn it up a fair ways. And now we should be able to see the power fluctuating, all right? 4.5 watts. There we are. Sorry for the glare. 99 amp hours left at 100%. 0.32 amps. Yeah, so it just fluctuates a little bit from like 4.4 to 4.5. 4.5 watts. But yeah, that's a max air fan on not even medium, kind of low medium. I'm charging pretty good because it's a really nice sunny day for a change. So we're actually getting a good charge. And there's not anything really hooked up to that Blue Sea fuse box. I've had these color strip lights for a while. I haven't plugged those in because I really thought I was just depleting this battery here, and I thought the battery here was drawing from the car, and that's why the car wasn't working. We disconnected it. We took the wire off the solenoid that comes from here, and now this is a standalone unit all on its own. So we're gonna see how true it is to live in Vancouver in February. That glare is awful. Without having any kind of a solenoid or a car battery to shore up the back house battery. It's gonna get pretty dicey. It's gonna be pretty interesting. This is the only sunny day we have. Like, there's virtually no sun for the next week or two. In fact, they said it was gonna snow all next week. So that's really not the best news, although we really, like, look at it. That's brilliant. I'm in Planet Fitness's parking lot because it's 3 o'clock and I've walked around for almost 3 hours today with one meal, nowhere to sit down. I'm really tired and I'm just actually enjoying a tea. But I just wanted to show you that the power draw with the max air fan with this situation. They did a really good job. Well, that looks pretty good. I got a 100 amp hour battery, right, from Renogy that's self-heated. And now it's disconnected from the car itself. So it was charging today because we had a lot of sun. But I just want to run it on its own system. So I've got the heater on for 20 minutes at 30 Celsius. I'm pretty topped up because it was a sunny day, but I'd be really interested to see what this looks like after 2 or 3 days. Gray, no sun, lots of rain. I don't know. Turn on this light, it doesn't really move it or add or make any big increase on the load. We could turn on the max air fan and see how that works out. Right? I know that draws a little bit. Yeah, now it's moving. But for tonight, I'm pretty confident to run the heater. It's cycled. There you go. It's off. You can hear it's quieter. Ran for 20 minutes, 30 degrees, and I still have oodles of battery. Tons of battery. But I don't think it would stay that way after 2 or 3 days of no sun. Honestly, we get like 2-3 weeks of no sun and it just rains and rains and rains. For now, they just said give it a try. See if the vehicle runs better now that we disconnected it from this stuff here. And I've just had it. I walked around all day. So I'm gonna have a really nice dinner and some muffins and watch a movie. Yeah, and just watch my new battery shunt by Renogy. So I would recommend this product. Well, I just don't know what to say. So the van battery is disconnected from the back Renogy battery now because it's taken off of the solenoid, which is right there on the left side of the hood. And I now have a nice Renogy monitor hooked up to my battery back there, so I really needed that anyway. And those guys gave me a really good break. Those guys gave me a super nice break on the price of putting that in because they know I'm having a hard go of it right now. But yeah, so the van just fails. It just backfires right out of their shop, right down the street. So we're going to bring it back to Fountain Tire in Langley. Let's try and, no, it's got no guts. I'm just floored. Bang, bang. Yep. Incredible. It's just floored and it won't do past that, and it's just misfiring everywhere. So I'm gonna pull it into Fountain Tire again. Poor guys. I don't know what to tell them, and they don't know what to tell me. But it's not my electrical system in the back of my van. That's obvious. Because now it's disconnected and it still does the same thing. So here we are. Heaven help me in this stupid van. If you hear that, that's the usual weather here. But right now, that's going to be a problem because I've disconnected my Chevy Express van from the Renogy system here in the back. I needed to know if my vehicle's bad running problem was caused from being tied into this power bank that I put together this summer, and it's not. So it's been disconnected for 2 days. Yesterday was a sunny day, so it was great. I have this new Renogy battery monitor. It's incredible. This unit tells me so much information and gives me so much peace of mind. It's incredible. So I've run on my own power system, straight from the solar right on top, right down into this system without the assistance of my van topping it up for 2 days. And it was okay yesterday because it was sunny and I was always at 100%. Even if I used 5 or 10%, it would top up pretty quick. But now, as you can see, it's very overcast and gray. And in fact, it's supposed to be this way about 5 days. So 5 straight days of this weather is coming at us. This parking lot actually is flooded over there. The stall behind me is flooded. So it's not going to get any better. It's not going to get any brighter. Nothing's going to top up this battery in the back. I only have 100 amp hours, but as you can see, I got nothing really running. I have an empty Blue Sea fuse box. All I have in there is, this is for my Airtronic heater, positive and negative, and something for my Max Air fan, and that's it, people. I don't have anything. Like, I had these, I bought these really nice color strip lights for 40 bucks from Home Depot. There's 4 sets in there. There's 4 strips and they're USB powered, remote controlled. I think they're 16 feet each. Would have been great to use a couple of those all the way around the ceiling of the van just to give it some nice uniform and even light that I could see or read by or whatever. But I didn't want to plug them in because I thought my van wasn't running well, because I thought this power bank was sucking the power from the engine. It's been quite the journey with this Express van. So here we are today, where I think I'm gonna go back to the RV place, and they said I could just put the wire back on my solenoid under my hood and hook it up myself again from the car to this, so the car charges this stuff again. But I don't have a wrench. I don't have a crescent wrench. That's what I need. This is where we're at right now in total doom and gloom. This is where we're at right now. I've used 15% since it stopped being sunny yesterday. So since 5 o'clock yesterday, when it became nightfall, and then it started raining around midnight, and now in the morning it's not even getting a charge. So we've done almost 18 hours without any kind of a charge. So 18 hours, I've used like 15%, but like I said, I don't have anything really hooked up to it. Oh, and now it shut itself off completely. You know why? Because the backlight only goes on when it's charging. It's not doing anything because there's no sun, guys. Like, look at my battery monitor, you know? What does it say we're doing? 13.3. And we're getting nothing. So yeah, all screens are dark today, including the sky is dark today. And I've had quite a busy week with this van. Just wanted to hop out of the van and show you how they hooked up that shunt. Excuse my taters. Nice bag of taters. All right, so here's that 100 amp hour self-heated battery from Renogy right here. It's a great battery, really. It seems to be more than I need right now because, well, I virtually have nothing hooked up to it, right? Once I get a kitchen bank in here and maybe get a couple of appliances on there, then we'll see how. Maybe it'll be different then. But I just thought I'd come back here and show you because it stopped raining for about 5 minutes. So I dropped it off to Journey's RV there on Tuesday, 3 days ago. It looks like they added a much bigger AUG wire, and it looks like they mounted the shunt right there. So that's the part that tells you all the information there. So it's got a pretty fat wire going over there, over to there, and the monitor itself, like the display, is hooked up right to the negative. So they've got this wired up really nicely with a big AUG wire there. They've mounted the shunt on the board right there. Everything's the same as it was before. My shutoff is there. My fuse is there. Charge controller. Everything's great. Blue Sea fuse box I ordered off Amazon is there. My inverter's still hooked up. Everything remained the same except they added the shunt there. They added a monitor up there. And I was asking him, hey, how come it didn't get wired into this Blue Sea fuse box? And he said because the way they wire the monitors and the shunts is straight from this display to the negative. So it has to go straight to the negative to be wired properly. You can't really put it on a fuse box, just so you know. But it'll tell you that in the pamphlet, which is literally a 2-page 1-minute read. It's so easy to put this in. It's incredible. And the vehicle, we've separated it for 2 days and it still ran quite poorly, so that wasn't the issue. And it's about 12 days of super bad weather and some snow coming up, with 1 day of sun if we're lucky in the middle, you know? So I elected for it to be put back on. As a standalone powerhouse in the van, I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna make it if this is the weather for the next probably 10 days and some snow. I need a lot of energy for a heater. Need to cycle that fan, keep the air moving so it doesn't get wet and moldy or hot and moist in here. I need the heater and the fan moving, and that's really all I'm using, but I need that. And it looks like I only use about 10% of my battery life a day to do it. Whoa, look at this massive puddle. Look at that. Whoa, buddy, he's backing up. Don't stop. Wow. Terrific. Let's go bug the RV people. Try and get hooked back up, because I'm not going to survive the next week on my own. Another 100 amp hour battery on there. I might make it 4 or 5 days on my own in weather like this with 200 amp hours. But I mean, eventually I'm going to get there to the point of where I'm depleting 1, 2, or 3 of them because there's so many gray days here. Like, you're not a winner. There's no sun. Literally 6 months of the year. No lie. Okay, so they are literally so nice. They're gonna put the wire on for me. Just pouring. All right, so nice. So I held the umbrella over him while he went under there and he hooked it up for me. And he said, all right, so it should be no different. In other words, your vehicle will still run like a bag of crap. But now the only noticeable difference you will have is at least now you'll be taking a charge. So yeah, hopefully that works out for me. Okay, so let's start this. Yeah, it still runs the same. So he said, all right, so you'll have no difference in your car. It'll still run bad. But now the only difference will be that you're charging again to the back from the front, which is great because I needed it. I was down to 85% on a bad day. So he was super funny the way he described it to me. I'll tell you later. We'll sit down and have a chat over tea or something. It's pretty miserable. But yeah, very nice of them. It's a family day weekend and there is absolutely nobody open for 4 days. And I had no wrench to do it. So thank you, Journey RV. All right, so we stopped in this park. It's only been about 15 minutes since the vehicle's been hooked back up via the solenoid to the battery bank in the back, but like the alternator virtually didn't move. The running of it didn't improve or get any worse. It's still the same broken van like it's been since November. It still doesn't run right, and especially under a load. Yeah, so I don't really know, but it's only been about 15 minutes of driving it around. And already at this point, when I walk back here, you can see it's pulsing because it is definitely charging through my alternator back there. Let's turn this off. There's virtually nothing plugged into it anyway. So yeah, I've already gained 2% because I was at 85, remember? When I was sitting there having coffee in this lot, waking up. And we were talking about going back to the RV shop because like he said, we're going to be back in the dungeon. That was a good term. He goes, yeah, we're going to have 2 crappy days, 1 really nice day, and then we're back in the dungeon. And he's right, for quite some time, at least 10 more days, possibly snow. But this is looking good right now. So yeah, I tried. I disconnected it from the car for 2 days and it didn't make any difference. So I decided to hook it back up. Like, why not?